Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to edit so much coughing out of this video. So I recorded this video a little over a year ago, and I'm thankful now for the backlog that I have, but that means that it's just gonna be a slightly different video than normal. We are making a sleep sack for the boy because it was late November and things were getting colder, and so I wanted to have something for him to be cozy in the wintertime. I have regular 1-layer fleece ones, but I wanted to try something new, practice a new skill, and make something a little warmer for him. So today we're going to be making a quilted sleep sack out of materials that I curated from Joann's. Sad. So this video has more than one note of nostalgia in it, at least for me. So please enjoy tiny babioli ravioli and unpurchasable Joann fabrics. Also, my apologies for the ambient sound. My recording closet is currently occupied by a napping child.
Are you taking a little picture of him?
I'm taking a little video of him.
Of his little kitty bag.
Uh-huh. So for this sleep sack, I'm going to add a few new details compared to our old ones. The old ones had a separating zipper that actually went in reverse, so it hooks together at the top and zips down, so the zipper isn't up by the face. But for these, I'm going to make the zipper zip up from the bottom and add a little snap to cover it so the zipper doesn't flap up and poke around. And then I'm also going to put a little handle at the bottom for baby grabbing purposes, because, you know, sometimes you gotta grab a baby. So like I said, I got this from Joann's, and I wanted a flannel for the outside and fleece for the inside. So I got the little gnomes are the flannel and the flowers are fleece. I have already made, socks. I've already made a few of these, like I said, so I just used this one for a pattern. But first I decided probably wise to quilt it before I pattern it, because otherwise things could end up pretty wonky. So this is just tracing a bazillion lines 2 inches apart to make a little quilting pattern. I know that it's supposed to shrink the fabric a little bit, and it did shrink it a little bit. Not too much that it was unusable, but I was surprised how much it actually did end up shrinking it. Well, here it is. It's super cute. I actually think I might go for a sort of like forget-me-not blue color for the thread. Not sure yet. I was wanting to keep it kind of subtle, but this light blue on there is kind of cute. But also a cream would be just fine. I kind of just want it to blend in. Try it a couple of times and see what we like. Like I said, I've already made a sleep sack out of this pattern before, so I just pulled out what I had. Carefully matching things up. It gets a little bit dicey here at the bottom after I quilted it. It did shrink a bit, probably about 1 inch the whole thing shrank, so I didn't have as much extra wiggle room as I thought I was going to, but it's okay. We made it work, and through a bit of finagling and just accepting slightly less volume at the side, we were able to get the full shape of the sleep sack out. It's kind of hard to believe that I recorded all of this only a year ago. When you have little kids, time is so strange. Like, the difference between Ravioli now and how he was a year ago, it's crazy. I mean, he's like a completely different person. Like, like a whole human with like thoughts and ideas who can talk. I mean, it's just crazy. It's only been a year and it feels like so much more than that. And in that time, I also grew and birthed the whole human. I mean, crazy. Okay, here I am picking out the top stitch color for the serger. I have a bunch of pink and a bunch of green. So just gonna compare these two, figure out which one I like better. I think the green is nice because there is actually green in it and there's no pink in the fabric. Sorry if I look and sound like I have given up entirely on life. Just a little sick. I'm pretty new to using the serger, and I did some research the other day about flat locking, because that's a stitch you can do on a serger, and I kind of just always assumed that you did it with the pieces like butted up together like this, and then the machine would just like and run through them. That is not actually the case. You probably already know this if you're, if you've ever touched a serger before, but you actually do them right sides together. It doesn't really matter. I guess it just depends on which side you want the front, but you put them like this through the serger, this way, and then it leaves like a little like gap right here. So there's like thread loopies and they're coming farther than the edge of the fabric. This is the worst. Let me use a piece of fabric. Maybe that would be the better thing to do. Okay, so the stitch runs along here and the thread loops extend off the edge. That way when you turn the pieces flat, there's space for the edges to just sit within this stitch flat together. So I'm gonna try that. I've never done it before and I think it'll be okay. I should probably test it, so I'm going to do that. So let me do that and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so this sort of worked and sort of didn't. It didn't catch like a lot of fabric down here at the bottom towards the end, but that was when it was kind of running off. So maybe it'll be okay. It looks okay here though. It's a little wider than I think I'd like it though. I might bump the needle in instead of having it out, but this is what it looks like on the outside. This like ladder stitch, which I don't hate, but see how it's like not really catching the flannel here? I think I need to do it with the flannel on the outside because it is using the blade to cut it away. So it's not like I am cutting a chunk away to catch it. So it should be catching everything, but it's not. So I think I might bump the needle into the inner position, into the A spot instead of the B spot, and see if that helps. Try that. Okay, so that actually worked a lot better. I think what I'd rather do though is have this part on the outside because I think it just looks a little neater personally than the ladder stitch, because the stitches aren't like super even and you can kind of see like the uneven pulling, so that sort of like squiggly line in between there, little like wavy spot. So I think what I'm going to do is have it be this way, flowers touching instead of gnomes touching, and I'll do it that way, and then I'll get this on the outside. I think that'll be better. Plus this is a little more like textured, not as comfortable as this, so I'd rather be this facing on the inside for maximum comfort. All right, let's do it. Even a year later, I still feel like such a baby when it comes to my serger. Oh, broke a needle. Pretty thick. Next thing I wanted to do was make the handle for the bottom, which I very scientifically did by tracing the width of my own hand and then adding a few inches onto the side. Well, making it nice and lined up so it would be nice and fat for grabbing, and then cutting it out and just serging around the edge of it to sort of close it up. I didn't bother double layering it since it was already 3 layers of batting and fleece and flannel. Whiskey jar comes in handy. Whiskey jar? Shot glass. What is wrong with me? Shot glass comes in handy here from the Museum of Osteology, which I recommend everybody go to. If you're driving through Oklahoma, go to the Museum of Osteology. It is awesome. Jared and I went one time, and it was during this crazy thunderstorm. Halfway through our tour, the power went out, and so they gave us all flashlights, and we got to walk around the museum full of skeletons with flashlights. It was so dope. Highly recommend. Go to the Museum of Osteology in Oklahoma.
Oh.
I gotta say, one thing I did not love about this project was shoving the many layers of fabric under my presser foot. That was a task. But here it is, nice little X sewn on there. Taping up the arms. I'm not good at bias tape. I need to get better. This one has so many wonky things going on with it at the end. If you have bias tape tips, drop them in the comments because I need help to get better at doing bias tape. And here we are making the little snap fastening for the closure at the top. I traced out a snap so that I wouldn't undershoot the size that this needed to be. And then traced out a little flappy, cut it out. This one was just a single layer of flannel, so I did go ahead and do it 2 layers. Then sewed around it, turned it inside out, gave it a little trim with the pinking shears so it would lie flat. And then I needed to decide which snap I wanted, which, I mean, all of these decisions, crucial decisions, right? I mean, it really makes or breaks the project here. As you can see, I've got a nice dark blue zipper, so I went with red and blue snaps because I didn't have matching for both. Red on this side, and then blue on the other. This is a satisfying job. If you ever get the chance to put snaps in something, I recommend it. It's fun to do. Unless you have to do 4,000 of them like I did. That time I made 30 cloth diapers. That was hard to put in there, but we got... Ah, no! Good. Did it go in okay? Yeah, that looks good. And here it is. So cozy and soft and convenient with the snaps and the handles. Oh, the baby's waking up. Let's listen to his baby noises. He's ready for some milk. I'm gonna go feed him. Enjoy this footage of my last baby nursing. Oh. Okay, I'll let you go. Bye. Love you. Thanks for watching. Oh, okay, one last thing. Look how big he is. Oh no! You good? Can you run? Go! Okay, that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.